Hello, Jen here with a Christmas card for you. This is our Christmas card lift series that I do with Daisie from Daisie Scraps. This is the third card that we're doing, and Daisie picked this beautiful blended ink snowflakey card from Rejoice Crafting. She made it for Simon Says Stamps, and it looked like so much fun to recreate and definitely something different from what we've done in the last 2 weeks. So I'm really excited to get started, and I thought I would come to you in real time because a lot of people comment on how much time does it actually take me to make a card, and a couple people have even commented that from my videos it definitely doesn't look like I'm not a card maker. So that is really sweet and I really appreciate it, but I thought I would do a live video for you so you could actually see that I struggle my way through some of these cards because some of the techniques, even though you can use them in scrapbooking, they're not always done in the same way. Ink blending and stuff like that, I don't do that often in scrapbooking. So I thought I'm just going to leave it all in and let you see how it goes. So what I have gone ahead and done to prepare for this card is in my silhouette I cut snowflakes. Now the original card is done with dies, and I just didn't have any snowflake dies. I don't have a sentiment die that says Merry Christmas. So I went in to my silhouette and I found some cut files. I think some of them are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I can't remember where this one is from. I think this snowflake pattern might have just been like a freebie that I got somewhere. I think one of them is also from Paper Issues, and I basically just cut out a whole bunch of snowflakes. So that's the only thing you won't see me doing. So the first step in this process is to take your snowflakes and stick it down on your paper. Now, what I've been doing so far in this series is working on a 12 by 12 paper and then cutting it into 6 individual cards. So I'm going to do that again this time, which means this is going to be a lot of ink blending. And I don't have the die that she used to cut that really beautiful stitched border. Again, that comes from Simon Says Stamps, so you can check it out in the links below. So I'm going to go in afterwards and probably put my border in with a gold pen or something along those lines. So let's start by just putting down some snowflakes. And she actually glued them down before... Ooh, isn't that fun when you pull that up for the first time? She glued them down before she did her mixed media. So that's kind of the fun and unique thing about this card. Oh, this one didn't cut very well. Just let me do that and we'll deal with it when it's time to do the sentiment. There. So I have all different snowflakes in all different shapes and sizes, and I'm just going to take my ruler and my card bases that I have these gold card bases, and they are 4.5 by 6 and 6.3 inches. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just quickly measure that out. It's more just to give myself a guideline for, for the snowflakes. So now I'm going to pull off my biggest snowflakes and make sure that each card front has a big snowflake. course, you could do this card with all kinds of other things too. Like it doesn't have to be snowflakes. It could be Christmas trees. It could be bells, mittens, anything you wanted, honestly. Now we're just going to glue them all down. So I'm going to use my fine line applicator, and this is Scotch Tacky Glue, and we're just going to go in and glue them all down. And you just want to make sure that the glue is in enough places that all these little tips stay glued down, because you're going to go right over them with your blending tool. So you don't want to pull them up. We're headed to the mountains this weekend, so
You mean today?
Yep. So all my other kids are sleeping still, and they have the day off school because we've got to do dentist appointments before we go. So Fox was the only one who wanted to get up and help me scrapbook. Make cards. Right?
Yeah, but especially wanted you to do this.
Oh, and he wanted to play with Lego. You know.
Hey, show him.
Lego was actually the primary reason he got up. Yeah, go ahead, you can show him. Cool. Okay, I just wanted to share I had an epiphany. Instead of gluing all of these down individually, I pulled out my Xyron, and now I can just pull them all out. Fox is going to burnish them for me. Come around the other side, buddy. Fox is going to burnish them all for me as I pull them through the machine. Alright, so all of our snowflakes are down. That only took about 5 minutes or so to get done. It was pretty simple, pretty easy once we got our groove. It's hard to see because it's white on white, but there you can see the snowflakes, and they will pop out in a second when we put the color.
Yeah.
So,
Excuse
me. So I have Lucky Clover and I have Festive Berries. These are just regular Distress inks, and I'm going to use those as my main colors. And then I didn't have the Pumice Stone Gray that is used in the original cards, but I thought that these two colors might be a nice neutral, and they're oxides. So Evergreen Bow, or is it Bow? Evergreen Bow and Broken China. So I'm going to start with the red.
Look at I do the red.
And because
my favorite color.
Love, I know. And we're just gonna come in from the edge and being careful of our snowflakes. There you go, you can see how they pop out as soon as you start. I'm being really, really light with this because we are gonna take a water brush to it to help just blend. So you don't have to be too worried about the marks that you're leaving. These round marks you can see here. sponge. And I'm just gonna test it over here. There we go. Okay. So let's do some blue. Kind of, again, it's in those places where the blue or the green and the red, because they're complementary colors, they don't really want to blend. And so you can get, if you're using cool colors like I am, then you get a gray. If you're using warmer shades, you can actually get kind of a brown. So this neutral color, in the original one it's the gray, which makes sense, but blue for me kind of is as close to gray as I can get, and that kind of masks that graying or that muddying where the complementary colors are mixing. Ooh, I think that's really pretty actually. All right. So this one you can see I'm being really delicate with.
Oh, that actually is pretty.
Thank you. I'm hardly touching the paper, so it's really just getting a fine layer all over. And I'll go back in and make sure that all of my snowflakes are glued down. All right, how's that? Okay, and then we're just gonna lightly go over this with some water. Again, because that's what she did, but I actually think you wouldn't have to if you didn't want to. You could totally leave it like this. So water brush, and we're just gonna, oh, I don't know if I like that actually. I might just leave it. Oh, I guess it's kind of okay. It gives like a
Watercolor thing?
It gives a bit of a watercolor look. Yes, you're right. Like here, that looks really nice. I think I'm just gonna try to stick close within all of the individual colors and not mix them too much, but that is kind of a nice effect that it is giving, so. How's that?
Good.
I'm mostly gonna try and do it over the snowflakes because I think that's pretty.
Pretty.
Look at this one.
Mom, I have an idea.
Yeah?
What happens if you glued them on? Then you could have painted them, but then you could like took them off. Then you could.
Oh yeah, then they would be like a mask.
Yeah.
That would look really pretty too, and then you'd have the white underneath.
Yeah.
That would be very pretty. Good idea. Now the other thought that I had for this, going more to my scrapbooking roots, is instead of blending the inks, I think it would look really good if you smushed them. So just put your paper down and take your colors. So just like I did, you could start with red and just smush and get that same fun kind of watercolor look without the blending. Because I think that by me doing this and actually using my water brush, I'm kind of giving myself that blended, smushed look instead of just the blended. So I actually think I'm only going to do a couple of these cards like this because I like them better without it. So yeah, we'll stop at this line here, and then you can kind of see the difference. But I think that if you wanted to just smush them on using the packaging technique or anything like that, it would probably be a lot faster, even though you saw this was really quick. But
Counting upside down.
I think you, yes,
Yes,
I know. I think you would get a similar look to what this is giving me without having to do this part of it. if that makes sense. Okay, so. Okay, so you can see the difference here.
Oh, Mom, look
This one's
underneath it.
blended with water.
Look underneath it.
That one isn't. I think they're both pretty.
Wait,
I'm gonna quickly dry this so that we can move on to the next step. Now, this is mostly dry. Let's go ahead, well, this is just drying a little bit more, and work on the sentiment. So I printed out 2 different Merry Christmas. So I have a shadow, and the way that I did that was actually with, oh, what's the tool called? In my silhouette, I basically just traced a shadow around my words, and then I cut that as a solid piece to go in the back. So the shadow is gonna stay white, but I think that the words should be a different color. So let's do this one first because the other one I have to piece together a little bit. So here's my shadow, and I just made it to go the full length of the card. And then here's my sentiment.
Whoa.
This one actually cuts out an outline. And then the Merry Christmas. So obviously I don't want white on white. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna ink this in blue, in that blue, I think. So very, very gently. I'm just gonna go over it. I'm not even rubbing, I'm just dabbing. There is a little dot for the eye too, but okay, so once I have that, now I can adhere it to the shadow, its background. I just want to make sure I don't get any blue on it. Should we Xyron this too? Let's do it. So we'll stick our Merry in there, Christmas in there,
I have to rub it again.
and pull, uh-oh, Christmas didn't want to come. There you go.
I'm gonna just be doing the rubbing thing again.
No, I'm just going to use my fingers. And that is it. Oh my goodness, doesn't that look cute? Okay, the last thing that the original card has is some spray, some glitter misty spray, which I don't have at all. So I think I'm just gonna use my Wink of Stella to put a little bit of glitter on each of, oh no, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna use this, and I'm gonna put it in the snowflake holes here. 1, 2, 3. That one's kind of big. Oh, we'll fill it up. That one down there can have some. That one down there can have some. Okay, I'm gonna finish up the rest of these, let them dry, and cut them apart, and then I will come back to show you the finished product. All right, so my cards are finished. Here you can see they all look different. I don't have my Merry Christmas for that one, but I think that one might be my favorite background. That one, this one, that one. I think they actually turned out so pretty. So what I decided to do is on each of the snowflakes, I put that dot of glitter And then just using my finger, I brushed glitter onto all of the snowflakes. You can see there, I think it's a bit chunkier than Wink of Stella would have been, so it kind of stands out a bit more. See how glittery that one is? And then I put the glitter around the edge as well. Sorry about the bad light. I'm actually here in Banff in a hotel. Say hi, Bass.
Hi.
The other two have gone swimming, but this one's not feeling well. So we're in our hotel room. Let me show you. It's a mountain lodge. Apparently when they bought it and the guy sold it to them, and his one request if they were going to build a hotel was that they keep his house. So right in the center of the courtyard of this hotel is his house. They built the hotel around it, so kind of cool. But anyways, let's go back to the cards.
Hi. Hi.
Good job, dude. So that is it for me. There will be some still shots at the end. If you have any questions, definitely leave them for me in the comments down below. And all of the links to the original cards are also down below, as well as Daisie's link, so be sure to check her out and see how she did recreating this super fun card. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye! Are you making a card too? Yeah?